Hey there, my lovely chosen ones. How are you? I hope all is well and everything is absolutely amazing on your end. Welcome back. This is your Light and Darkness, and I'm back again with another important life purpose reading for all of you today. So this reading is for those who recently got separated or are going through divorce at present or are just planning to, okay? Most often it's usually neighbors, relatives, friends, in-laws who are actually the real cause behind the failures of marriages or beautiful relationships, because people have a habit of interfering into other people's business. People have a habit of poking their nose into other people's business. So that's what I see here might have happened, which led to an ending, a separation or a divorce here, or is leading to an ending, separation or divorce. Obviously, it's happening because of few people's mindlessness, gossip, competitive mindset, jealousy or envy, or just a habit of interfering into people's business unnecessarily. So this reading is actually meant for two group of people, one who are going through something like this and others who have a purpose of helping those who are going through with something like this, okay? For those who are going through something like this, where they got separated from someone they really loved or were very close to romantically or were married with, for people who are getting divorced right now or already got divorced recently, and at this point of time they are struggling with the trauma, with the loss. Some of these people are planning to move on to another person or move on with another person, which is where you need to pay attention. This is the point where one needs to be really, really careful and mindful at the same time to avoid repeating the same old patterns, because this is the point where one needs to go within and focus on learning the lesson behind this ending, behind this pain or this experience which they got presented with, which they created, attracted or manifested in their life. Okay, there are various points to consider here. There are various points to reflect over. There are various reasons why such endings take place. All of you at present need to keep something in mind, which is about not trying to rush through the process of moving on or healing. You've got to be patient. Okay, those who are going through something like this, they've got to be patient with their healing process or with other offers they are receiving or are thinking of giving to others, or are just thinking of receiving in their near future. Okay. On the other hand, those who are supposed to help people in similar situations, you've got to understand that you need to be very, very patient with these people, with these individuals, as they're already heartbroken. They lack patience, and most of them look for quick fixes, which is what needs to be avoided. Okay, you've got to guide them not to look for quick fixes, but remain patient with their own self, with their healing process, and with the offers they might receive from others, as well as the offers they're interested in giving to others, so that they can move on, or so that they can find some healing, comfort, or relief from the pain or the trauma, the stress, anxiety, or nervousness they experience every day and night. The guidance here is that one needs to be real patient in such situation, and one needs to allow the transformation to take place. There's a reason why some relationships do not work out. There's a reason why some marriages fail, because the sole foundation of that marriage was not built on real love, but on control, manipulation, deceit, and materialism. That's the real reason why many relationships either fall apart or, on the other hand, look successful on the outside, even without the element of any real love within them. This might sound contrasting, but it is the truth if you can take some time out to dig deeper into it. Okay. In the end, people involved start to hate each other. In the end, such marriages usually experience deception, cheating and betrayal, even though they try real hard to look happy and blissful on the surface, just to show off to other people and show off as if their marriage is successful. But what happens behind the closed doors, what happens in reality, is a lot different than what you'd see them portraying and pretending on the surface. Okay, so all these points, all these facts and factors need to be considered while making an important decision about choosing another direction or getting into another relationship, committing for marriage. Because if one is going to get into another relationship with the same attitude, with the same trauma, with the same problems, they'll end up repeating the same old pattern, isn't it? So this is where one needs to be real patient and real kind and generous with their own self first and foremost, and then with others. Do not bring in another person to clean your mess, and don't go as well to clean someone else's mess who has a habit of messing around. People in such marriages and in such loveless relationships usually end up hating each other or losing all their care, affection or attention just because there was no love to begin with in those connections. And that's when you see these endings, these painful divorces taking place. And it's not just about marriages, it even happens with relationships as well, which were built on the same foundation, either to show off or to just have someone in their life to feel good about, feel comfortable with, a little happy here and there. Okay, once they end, once these relationships come to an end, people usually lose their senses. They lose their sense of self. They look at it as a traumatic experience, which I'm not trying to deny. It might really be traumatic, but it doesn't have to be if one is patient enough not to get into such relationships, commitments or marriages. So the chosen ones here need to keep all of these things in mind and tackle their clients or their friends or their listeners in such a way that you're leading them out of this darkness towards a wonderful outcome where they can first heal before getting into another relationship or commitment, or just first understand what a relationship, a commitment or marriage means before getting into one or another one in general. And the same applies with those who are going through something similar and want to move on. You can move on your own. You can move on by choosing another direction instead of connecting with another person just because you want to feel good for the time being. It won't serve you in the long run. You getting my point? If you want to move on, if you want to get over a traumatic experience, do not use another person as a bandage. Fix your own wound. Heal your own wounds. And you can do it by your own self or by taking help of someone who has experience in healing his or her wounds. Okay. Do not connect with another person who has similar wounds like you, or else you'll end up wounding each other once again, landing in similar situations, similar painful experiences you want to avoid right now. You getting my point? This is the message of this reading. Let this ending teach you something or teach what it is meant to teach you. Let yourself be there with that pain and talk with it. Ask your own emotions, what they're trying to teach to you, and how you can overcome those negative emotions, how you can move towards something better. And this reading applies to both men and women. Do not turn hateful, do not turn apathetic towards others, do not turn into denial as well that you're not in pain. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anyone to suppress their emotions. All I'm saying here that you've got to learn how to deal with your emotions in a much better way, and patience is what is needed. If you're going to look for quick fixes or another relationship, you'll end up in similar situations. Help yourself, because you know yourself better than anyone else. Help that person who's coming to you for help to help themselves first, instead of looking for help from people mindlessly. Okay. This is something you need to keep in mind. Getting my point? So that's all. This was your reading. I'll be back again. Till then, take care of yourself and your loved ones. Bye-bye.